But you're black. You can't swim. Why don't you just become the Rose of Titanic? Who do you think you are to be dreaming of becoming a whole ship captain? My darling, until you learn how to speak proper English, expect no training record book of yours being signed. Mayday, Mayday. The ship is out of port scrubbers. Would you be so kind to cut your hair? Imagine sending your child out to chase a dream, and the words she wakes up on are of negativity from the same people that could be her own father. Back in Durban, South Africa, where we gathered today, is a township so pregnant that one day the child will come back home, fully striped, crisp shirt, in her sea legs, but most importantly, she comes home alive. Mayday, Mayday. An African woman is on board a 50,000-ton gross tonnage ship, and she's about to take the wheel. Where I stood, an African child with my maths and science, a whole maritime graduate. Where I stood with all the accolades, I was made to scrub toilets. I painted. I chipped like a man. I made tea. Thank you, South Africa. Maths and science. I did it with pride. Where I stood, being the only black, the only female, lied being gang raped and being thrown overboard like trash. But I come from a rich soul of Africa, where Ubuntu is instilled from a young age, and where resilient is the air that we breathe. So by all means, Captain, I will wash your toilets. Because you know why? Where I come from, the whole nation scrubs toilets on the 18th of July, Mandela Day. By all means, Captain, do shave my hair. Because where I come from, women in short hair run the largest of corporates unapologetically. By all means, Captain, I will learn not to press my words so we can really understand each other. And when I take command, you too can understand my orders. Mayday, Mayday, an African woman in a 50,000 gross tonnage ship sailing with men, multiple men of different nationalities across ocean is on board, and she's about to take the wheel. I survived because of resilience, and I survived because Ubuntu is instilled from a young age in an African child. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to validate you for all that you do consciously and unconsciously. I want to validate you for the success stories that you share, even on social media. Because in the darkness of night, those success stories revitalize the dream of that young girl. I want to affirm you for the books that you author, because they become a bedtime story in the darkness of night in that cabin. I want to affirm you for being proud of Oshisanyama and posting your plate with pap and chakalaka. Because that, even through Facebook, food starts tasting better for that child that can only click and like on Facebook. I want to validate you for walking the streets with your African head wraps and your bold heads, because that affirm true beauty to that African child who's doubting herself. I want to affirm you for singing Shosholoza. Something inside so strong. Wavutha umlilo namalanga. Because in that darkest night, where a child longs for comfort in her own language, we sing in vernacular, and it's the most comforting tool. I am a ship navigator, raised with Ubuntu. In affirming you today, I need you to remember, with anything and everything that you do, think of that child in a cabin that cannot connect with family, chasing a dream. 13 years in the maritime industry now. I've got so many accolades. And with everything that I hold, I'm proudest to know that kids can learn in school about a Dredge Master. They can read about Usis Londy Ngcobo. 13 years in the maritime industry, married with kids. When a captain said to me, "Ha ha, you dream of being married with kids." Which African man would wait for a woman for months, only to spend weeks with them in a year? In the industry, 13 years, I am married with kids. There are men that no women worth waiting for. And so fear not to chase your dream. In the 13 years within my industry, I am black and I actually can swim. I am home as a marine compliance manager for Transnet. I wear my ball pot scrub with pride. And I chose not to be Rose. I chose to captain the Titanic. I'm a ship navigator, and I became Africa's first female Dredge Master. Where I stand is to challenge you, African queens. Then as we fight for our land, we be reminded that the ocean belongs to us too. That as we continue to seek for land, and as we continue to demand seats in the boardrooms, we remember that there's something called the ocean economy, and it's looking for powerful women as you. So let us not be short-sighted as we stand rooted on this ground. Sea legs also work, and they need your heels. I am a child raised with a wound, and resilient kept me going. My name is Londy Ngcobo. I'm a ship navigator and Africa's first female Dredge Master, and I'm a proud African woman.